The streets of Cairo's commercial district have been jammed with advertisements advocating a new way of life for a number of years. So many people who can afford to do so romanticize the thought of leaving Cairo's bustling core for a new beginning 50 kilometers away. Introducing the new Cairo, welcoming its doors to anyone and everyone. The project's creators consider it to represent the birth of a brand new metropolis, a new way of living, a new community, and a new entry in the spotlight of the global stage. We are going to cover this and more on today's video here at Lux Craze. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Thanks. East of Cairo, on a desert swath the size of Singapore, is where Egypt's enormous new administrative capital is being constructed. As for Cairo, it is currently in such bad shape that it is unable to provide its citizens many of the common needs of any other city. The embassies and government buildings that surround Tahrir Square add to any traffic jams that may exist on the city's main thoroughfares. In addition, it's predicted that the 22 million people who currently live in the metropolitan region will have expanded by a factor of 4 by the year 2050. This will result to even more traffic congestion. But why did they move to Cairo in the first place? 6.5 million people, 30 ministries, 30 embassies, and a massive presidential palace are all there in addition to the city's other structures. Nonetheless, a green river about twice the size of Central Park in New York City will cut through the center of the new capital. It will be called the quote-unquote Green River and contain both naturally occurring water and artificially created flora. Pause the video here and comment down below why you think something like this is being implemented. Let's assume that the program is being marketed as a way to reduce pollution and make Egypt a greener nation. It will become evident that this project is much more than just the government's attempt to lessen traffic in Cairo and improve living circumstances for those who live there. Though, if you do look a little further, and more crucially, if you follow the money, you'll start to notice why exactly this project is being backed. The Cathedral of the Nativity is highly recognized for being the first building in the city to be accessible to the general public and the largest cathedral in the Middle East. This historically significant monument, which was completed in 2019 and is currently in use, has continued to support the narrative of the dictatorship as the protector of the Christian minority from the threat posed by the Muslim Brotherhood. The ambitions of the new capital are consistent with the romanticized image of Egypt as a land of pyramids and pharaohs despite being out of proportion to the political situation. It has been 6 years since the construction site first opened, and during that time the project's overall cost has increased from the initial estimate to $58 billion. By the end of fiscal year 2021, this will account for more than 45% of Egypt's total external debt. The first of the 3 phases of development, which necessitated spending more than $20 billion and the construction of structures across 16,800 hectares, is currently almost finished. But even with all of the Kona groups of districts arranged along enormous symmetrical axes, it is still challenging to grasp the bigger picture. The migration of a few hundred ministries has already begun, nevertheless, and the first residential lots will be given to the new occupants in the coming months. You might be asking at this point how the country and the city are doing in comparison. It's a mirage city without a name and one without a present physical location on Google Maps. Yet, it is possible to anticipate that the government will set the pace by 2020 as part of a larger program. According to data that was made available by the French Treasury in 2021, the nation that is currently the 3rd most populated in Africa would have successfully crossed the threshold of 100 million people. The population is growing at an astonishingly fast rate, adding 1 million people every 6 months. 95% of the increase in population has been attributed to the Nile Valley regions, which accounts for only 7% of the country's total geographic area. Since 1/3 of Egyptians live below the poverty line and 800,000 young people enter the labor force every year, it is just as important to find housing for them as it is to find employment for each and every single one of them. What do the people think of the new capital then? Some individuals may have thought that the decision to move the new capital was brilliant because public land was sold to fund for construction. The policy, according to Tevek Aglimandos, chief of research at the Egyptian Center for Strategic Studies, spurs economic growth and lowers unemployment rates without having a negative impact on the political system. And this is due to the fact that the public land is sold to fund construction. What will be the city's most notable characteristics though, I hear you ask? Well, a high-tech catechism of language using cutting-edge technology hides this new data-driven ideology of urban planning. Gathering real-time data, aggregating that data, and using algorithms to evaluate that data in order to learn from user behavior are some of the stages involved in making the environment more resilient. Orange Business Cloud has been charged with creating a cloud center that will serve as the hub for controlling civil service activities as a direct result of this. When solar panels, wind turbines, and electrical regulators are installed, it appears that all buildings will only use the energy that they generate in the future. So what is the future of the new capital then? Anything pertaining to the city will be undoubtedly treated with the highest care. However, what do you think of the new administrative capital? Is it truly worth $45 billion? We'd love to hear your thoughts down below. This is where we end today's video on the new $45 billion capital of Cairo. Like the video and subscribe to us here at Lux Craze. It really helps us out. And hey, see you in the next video.